Amy from Doodle Dog Designs. In this video, I'm going to take some of these plain manila hang tags and I'm going to age them using several different methods. So with the first method, I'm going to take a little bit of water and I have an absorbent pad here, and I'm going to take some of the water and I'm going to dab it onto the hang tag. And then I have some cinnamon, and I'm going to take the cinnamon and sprinkle it around on the tag. So I'm going to do 2 of these. One I'm going to just set aside to dry naturally, and the other one I'm going to dry it in the oven. And then we'll see what the difference is between the 2. The second method is probably not going to surprise you. I use instant coffee a lot. I'm going to take a little bit instant coffee and pour it into, this water is hot. The more instant coffee you use, the grungier it's going to look. And then I'm just going to take the hang tag and put it in the coffee. And while it's still wet, if you want a little bit more grunge, you can sprinkle a little bit of instant coffee over the top of it. You could also sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on it if you prefer. So I'm going to do 2 again, and one I will let dry naturally, and then the other one I'm going to put in the oven to dry. Now with the instant coffee, I am kind of crumbling it with my fingers because it's big granules. For this next method, I have some lemon juice. I've got a rag and I'm going to get some of the lemon juice on my rag, and then I'm going to dab that onto my tag. And I'm going to do 2 of these again, one to let dry naturally and one to dry in the oven. I've put my 3 tags that I'm going to dry in the oven on a cookie sheet, and I'm going to put it in the oven 200 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes. You really have to watch this carefully. You don't want to burn them. For my next method, I have a brown stamp pad, and I'm going to take the hang tag and I'm going to run the edges along the stamp pad. And then I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm just going to put it over the top of the stamp pad and just gently press. I've got one more method that I'm going to try. So I've got my pad here. I got it damp. So I'm going to take my hang tag and I'm going to dip it in the water and get it completely wet. And then I'm going to attempt to char just the very edges. This process is a little bit trickier than the others. You do want to be sure that you're very careful if you decide to use this method. So I'm using the wet rag to put out any flames before they get too far into the tag. So it would work better if I had a candle that wasn't so low in the jar. It's getting a little hot in the jar here, holding my hand. Make sure I get that completely out. So I did try burning one without dipping it in water, and the flame got away from me pretty quick. So that's why I dipped this one in water before burning it, and that was easier to control. So this is the lemon that I baked, which I don't think I think it's got a little bit of cinnamon on it from the other one. It really didn't do much of anything compared to the one that hasn't been altered. So I did a little bit more research on how to age paper with lemon juice, and it's the heat that makes the reaction happen. So it makes sense that the ones I let air dry didn't do anything. And I wonder if the one I put in the oven, if it had just dried too quickly and I didn't apply the heat fast enough. So I'm going to try it again. And this time I've got my hairdryer out. A little bit of discoloration there, but there's still really not a lot. I wonder if this paper is too dark to start with, and this process would work better on some white paper. This is the baked coffee, and this is the baked cinnamon. I'm going to brush off the excess cinnamon, and you can see it does leave some staining, not as much as the coffee. And then this is the lemon juice that I let dry naturally, and the coffee that I let dry naturally, and the cinnamon that I let dry naturally. I don't think it didn't attach as well, the cinnamon, as the one that I baked, but I think the others, it didn't really make much difference whether I let it dry naturally or baked it. You could go ahead and, just to give a little bit more to one of these, you could take one that you cinnamon aged and then add the a little bit of grunge just to the edges. See, that makes a bit of a difference in how it looks. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you will probably like these other videos.